I'm from the Southeast San Diego. It's not the best place in the world, but it's also not the worst. It has a reputation for high crime rates, gang violence, underperforming schools, disciplinary issues, and drug use. Now, how I end up here is my family moved here, and we all packed into my grandma's house over in National City when I was 8 years old. And what I learned through this is that, we struggled, it was hard, but we made it through. And I learned how to be resilient. But I also met my friends, I bonded with my family, and I met the best teachers and mentors you could possibly ask for. And it's in this area where I met almost everyone there. And it changed my view of how I see politics, both on a local, state, and level nationally. So why am I talking about this, though? Through college and through working in political consulting, managing campaigns, and being a journalist, I learned to see my neighborhood on a greater context from the city as a whole, the state, and the US, and where we fit in, this perspective of diversity and making do with what you have. So when most people think of politics, they think of, president, or which political party do you belong to, or the drama that's going on that you see today, or that it's just complete bullshit. But the thing is that when we look outside in our window, we see things that we can affect on a local level. But who are the decision makers here? Well, when you go out to vote, depending on the election cycle, you'll see mayor, city council, school board trustees, state assembly, and you'll see a bunch of propositions y'all got to read through. So honestly, you have to put in work to understand these things. But what are the issues that we have to impact on a local level? Well, there's infrastructure. Are our roads safe? Does our sewage work? How are we developing our community? Do we have enough money for parks and recreation? The Central Library downtown looks dope, but that's inherently a political issue because it's got to get built by the city. Law enforcement issues. It's managed at a local level. How do we handle police misconduct, but how do we retain those who do good things for our community? And emergency response times is a big problem in my area. It's literally a matter of life and death. We heard about homelessness earlier today, but how can the city help our homeless population not only get shelter, but how can we propel them into a sustainable life? Where do we get our energy from? How much is it going to cost us? Is it clean? How are we going to get water? Sacramento has to deal with how the whole state and how the cities are going to maintain water sources through droughts. And what hits most home for me is education. Again, Sacramento gives school districts the money to spend. How do we spend it, though? We have to worry about teacher compensation, how to deal with labor unions. Do we have enough programs in our schools to make sure we keep kids off the streets and eventually become adults in creating a productive life? Now, I'm not saying that the federal government or what's happening on the national scale isn't important, because it is. It's always going to affect us, whatever's happening in our federal government. But we need to get beyond this surface level of politics, the drama. We can't get caught up in the game that they're playing on TV. And maybe if you still listen to the radio, I don't know if y'all still listen to the radio. But the thing is that not only do we have to stay informed, but we have to express ourselves. We have to vote. And now I can talk about how y'all need to vote all day, and yeah, that's great and all, but an informed vote is what matters. So, I hear a lot of people talking about, I ain't gonna vote because I don't like none of the presidential candidates. Well, that might be true, and that's if they haven't earned your vote, then they don't deserve it. But there's a whole bunch of other issues that you need to impact and you need to learn about for when you walk out your door and you see messed up streets or you see homeless people that need your help and other things like that. So what do you turn to? Well, there's plenty of news organizations that do great work on different issues, of course, but in varying quality. But I want to give a shout out to Voice of San Diego and their series of podcasts. If any of y'all here, y'all do good work. But how do we consume news? There's podcasts, social media. Social media is dangerous, but could also be very helpful. Keep up with everything that's happening within our community. So when we go out to vote, we're not just, oh, is he a Republican, Democrat, or I'm just reading this thing that's on this, okay, that's what's up. We need to think for ourselves and inform ourselves. But I'm not here to give you the answers. I'm here to tell you that you need to look for them yourself. You need to look at yourself, what matters to you, and look at your community and where you're from, and express that in staying active and voting. Thank you.